Witches.
Hi, hello, and welcome back to part 6 of Onyx Storm. And I'm very upset about the first 2 chapters I had to just fucking talk about because I didn't want to talk about them. I wanted to go straight to 38.
We wanted to get off of this damn island.
Yeah, I forgot this island was a thing. I was reading like chapter 46 or something, or no, 45, and I was like, what's he talking about? And I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot about that island. I forgot about his mom. I forgot about the stupid ass knowledge island. I forgot all about it just because I didn't. And it's not been that long since I've like read that.
No, we just talked about it last week.
I just apparently just hate this island so much. I blacked out.
The situation like fucking sucked. So we left off at the end of the last chapter with the chocolate cake being poisoned, and Garrick is the one that ate it, and he is not breathing.
He's like, fuck yeah, chocolate cake.
Yeah. So they're panicking, trying to, revive.
Try to keep him breathing, essentially.
Yeah.
And Violet's trying to figure out what the fuck was in the cake, and no one's telling her.
Yeah, so she... Oh, and then Talia freaks out and is like, you poisoned my son?
She's like, technically, he didn't eat it.
Yeah, your son was wise enough not to eat it. Oh, fuck you, bitch. Like, what? Okay, well, Violet's about to pull a about face on you because...
The best... You want to test her knowledge? You want to test everyone's knowledge? Cool. Well, she's about to own you.
Yeah, she is. So the tea, the Aaron mint tea that she gave to them, that they all drank, everyone drank, including Violet and her squad, was poisoned. And the difference is that Violet and her people took the antidote before they sat down to eat.
Which, isn't it like a citrus of some sort, like lemon, lime, something?
I think so. But so she's basically like, antidote for antidote. And this guy is so fucking narcissistic and full of himself that he's like, you don't get to beat me. Bitch, get over yourself. Like, ew. Ugh.
It's just...
Stop. I forgot about this scene. In the kitchen.
Go ahead.
So her and Riddick run into the kitchen to ask, like, what did you put in the cake? And then the cook is like, what I was told to, I'll fucking fight you, and grabs a knife. And she's like, bro, chill.
Right.
But he doesn't, and he tries to attack her, and she kicks him in the stomach, and then he throws the first she notices that his hands are blue, and so she figures out what the poison is. But then he throws the knife, and it hits Riddick.
Yeah.
Question mark? Except it doesn't. But we don't know that yet, because that's the end of chapter 36. And I literally wrote, oh no, not again.
Yeah. Yeah, the cook's knife is lodged in his side.
The cook's knife is lodged in Riddick's side. And I feel like the joy that she probably had writing that scene, knowing that she was going to write the next scene, was just
Listen,
disgusting.
when I was sitting there thinking about, in Indiana, like the Midwest specifically, when it's like green outside and you're
Mhm.
like, shit, a tornado's coming.
Yes.
I look out my window and all I see are my trees right outside, but it's dark. It's 6:30 and
Oh.
it's black out. Like a
Mm.
storm's coming. And I was like, oh fuck, a tornado's coming.
Yeah, I went through that literally yesterday, but that's a story for another time.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I wasn't too worried about this. Like when I saw that, I was like, fuck, like he's not okay, well, damn, that's gonna suck. He's gonna need stitches for sure. Because when they said in his side, like I'm thinking he's coming straight on. He didn't come from the side to like go through like the rib
That's fair.
cage.
So it's going through like
Through, let's be realistic, Riddick, there's no fat, but like if it was me,
right.
like he's coming through like my
Yeah.
handlebars. Like there ain't nothing there. But like it's going through that way, so it's not going to be like anything lethal really. But then I was like, no, that's too fucking easy. Like there's something up her sleeve for this.
Yeah. And then we go into chapter 37. And first things first, the blurbs stress me out. All of the recovered correspondence of Violet
When I
Sword.
see recovered correspondence, the only thing I could think of is none of them survive.
Yeah.
And this is like history.
Yes.
This is like Jacinia writing
Writing
history
them.
in her like
Yes.
80-year-old life.
Yes. Absolutely.
And what if that is the case?
It could be. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, because we really
Eventually.
don't. Because
We don't have any idea right now.
Because there's two books coming still.
Yeah. I mean, at the beginning of all of the books, it says like transcribed
by Jacinia, right?
Yeah, where'd it go?
I don't know.
The following text has been faithfully transcribed from Navarian into the modern language by Jacinia Neilwork, curator of the Scribe Quadrant at Biscayeth War College. All events are true, and names have been preserved to honor the courage of those fallen. May their souls be commended to Malik.
Yeah, they all fucking died.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rhiannon dead. Sawyer's dead. Well, actually, we don't know. Sawyer's not ever been on here. Violet's dead.
Mira. Brennan. Yeah.
I don't like it. I just hope it's one of those things where like they have an epic battle and not necessarily they die, but a lot of the shit that to get the answers correct and like accurate so that they don't like make shit up like they did prior. That's right. What they're doing.
Yeah.
That's my hopefulness. But that's gonna kill me in the end because I'm just gonna be bawling my eyes out when like shit doesn't go my way.
Like, listen. So, for what our listeners don't know already, except for Brittany, I finished this book already because about this time, I couldn't stop reading. Like every time I would get to the end of another chapter, I'd be like, I'm gonna stop at the end of the next one because there's not gonna be a cliffhanger. And there was a cliffhanger at the end of every fucking chapter.
Yeah.
So I finished it and I was sobbing from like page, I don't even know. Well, probably like 350 on. It's like there was just so much.
Listen,
but not in
I have such bad allergy problems right now. I can't afford that.
Listen,
I can't do it. Yeah, I know.
Multiple times. Lots crying.
It's fine. I cried real bad.
Yeah.
The other day.
I don't remember what all we're going to learn about in this episode, so I'm trying to stick to right where we're at. Which is that Riddick is not actually stabbed. It is just in his jacket.
Ooh.
But he's pissed about it.
Oh, yeah. And the funny thing about Riddick is that he just gets so mad because of like the menial things he's got to do. Like he's got to sew. God damn it.
Yeah.
I'd rather have somebody stab me in my side than that.
Yes. And then
he's says, like, I punch, hate, Punch. Zoe, punch.
Yes. I thought you were supposed to be, or for fuck's sake, you're supposed to be the civilized Isle.
What is the wisdom in a kitchen cook attacking 2 trained killers? V, you're all right? Or Vi, you're all right?
Yeah. And she's just like, yeah, I'm fine. And you're fine. I thought, but you're fine. Like, she's just going.
Yeah, she's having
And
flashbacks from Liam.
yes. And literally what I wrote on I put page 313. Oh, good. That was terribly rude, Miss Yaros.
It was. Anyways, but
um,
damn, I can't see out my window anymore.
well, yikes.
It's just water. This whole thing was honestly very it's kind of one of those things where it's like you just don't think you're going to get the revenge you're wanting, and like you've just been having such bad luck, and you're just like, God damn it, I want to win. For one day, I just want something to go my way. That's kind of how this was for the end of it all.
And Violet is just, she shows her genius side here.
So she essentially she used the Aron Mint tea as a ploy to as leverage in case things didn't go her way. Obviously, they're just fucking psychotic, so it wouldn't even have mattered. But she essentially gives them, you know, the tea as a peace offering for Xaden and his mom. Which, at the time of it all, we were all like, "Oh, that's so sweet." Oh, like trying to make amends, but really, she's like thinking like Xaden, which is smart on her part. But basically, Aron Mint tea looks just like regular tea, which is why its export is outlawed. By itself, steeped in milk or turned into tea with lemon or a little chamomile, it works wonders for sleep and healing. But when you combine it with some other pretty ordinary herbs, say the shredded bark of the tarsilla bush, it becomes a deadly poison, and tarsilla grows all along your beaches. Ask me why we're going to fly out of here without you saying a single word. And then he goes, why? Because you love your sons, and that's why you sent them out of the house tonight. Ask why there are only 6 dragons outside. If you're going to be dramatic, I'll just give you the answer, because he was like breathing heavily. Yeah. It's because the 7th currently sits next to the window at your parents' house where your boys sleep, where she'll stay until she knows we're out of range of any weapons you might be hiding. And he goes, that's impossible. Someone would have seen. And she goes, not if the dragon is an Irid, because she's obviously able to camouflage herself. And he's like, you wouldn't. They're children. He goes, do you really want to take that risk? Of course she fucking wouldn't.
Right.
But she's got to play the part of an assassin right now. Do you want to drink and live and see your children another day? And Talia is losing her fucking mind. She's already lost one son. She's not about to lose 2 more. I mean, either way, if she didn't drink, she would lose her life, so it wouldn't have mattered. But like, whatever. He's like mad and pissed off about it, and he's like, "You didn't outsmart me. None of this happened." No,
he's a fucking man, a narcissistic man who can't.
He's a child who can't get over that he lost.
Those words are synonymous, in my opinion.
And it's so funny because she's like, "Well, I didn't outsmart you alone. My father helped." And he's like, "You're Asher Daxton's girl. One of them, yes. And the other currently has command of your house. Make your choice." And then he drinks. And Xaden leaves without saying anything to his mother. Looking at her, nothing. He just walks out because he was pissed, which rightfully so.
Oh, yeah. His best friend just almost died because what the fuck?
Right. And essentially the only other remaining family member he has other than his best friend, or not his best friend, Bodhi, is essentially Garrick. Like, let's be real. That's his brother. So they leave to the next after that.
Yeah, and so I don't know if we talked about this yet, but on this trip they've brought Mira, I think, brought some runes
Mm-hmm.
to see if they could work without magic, basically. Is that thunder?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my. Um, she brought some runes to see which ones would work without magic. And Violet has this rune that is keeping her, it's called a sun shield rune, and
Uh,
it keeps her from getting a sunburn.
hold on. Where's
Oh,
the?
nice.
That's
Nice.
red. That's not orange. It's red.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully you don't lose power.
See you later if I do.
If you do, we'll just make it a short episode and record the rest later.
Bye. Listen, we don't ever plan. We need to do better about that. But this is not our full-time job, so
It's not. I wish it was, but it's not. But anyway, I would like that rune, please, because I don't want to sunburn either.
God damn it, Violet.
You know what I just realized? And
You
you're
didn't
gonna
see
fucking
the
laugh at me.
what?
This whole time I've had my headphones on, and you're coming out of my computer. I was like, what the fuck? Why did that sound so weird?
That would be
Oh
one.
my gosh.
That's funny.
I'm a special duck. Hold on.
It's so funny because I saw the lightning
Okay.
and then it smacked like that, and I'm like, damn, Violet getting it.
Yeah.
Somewhere, wherever they're at. Oh, well, they're here. We don't have magic. That's why. Jokes.
Oh my gosh. But, and then
They leave.
okay. They do leave and they go.
They're flying. This time they're flying to Zelhina. Zenhila. However the fuck you pronounce it.
I can't even find the name of it, but they're going to a new.
Zahilna. Zahilna.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yep,
Something like that.
that's what we're gonna go with. Zahilna. I don't know. Zahilna. Yeah.
Zahilna. I like Zahalna better, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, they're going to this place and they're pulling up close to it and they see like an amphitheater of some sort. And obviously that's kind of, and then they start seeing like multiple people like getting excited and rushing towards the amphitheater.
And like waving at them.
Yeah. So it's like they're obviously not freaked out. They've seen dragons before.
Right. Well, then I was like, have they seen dragons before, or did they know that they were coming? Like, were they expecting them?
Right. Well, and I feel like the thing is you can even if you expect that dragons are coming, like you still
Would be a little bit like odd.
yeah. Oh, this is going to be a big one.
Oh my.
If I can see the flash on my face. Yeah. Great. My dog's probably shitting herself right now.
Well.
Okay. So basically, yeah, I think they all know because Cortland won, but
Yeah.
Cortland told the next aisle, and there's still people there that got freaked out and pissed themselves.
Yeah.
So they knew they were coming. So I feel like at this point, either the dragons live there, or they've seen dragons before, fly over, whatever, or they've like were not ever taught to fear them.
Yeah.
Kind of like a storybook kind of thing.
Yeah. I got really excited at the end of this chapter because I thought that as well, that when they say that they can feel magic at the very end of page 3019, I was like, yes, they have to be here, right? Like the dragons have to be here for there to be magic here. And I got really excited.
I guess, and they never really talk about, I mean, that this is, I think not really talked upon later, but they never really actually talk about why there's magic.
They don't.
And that really confuses me and that really frustrates me because we're all talking about like why there's never any magic anywhere. And then it's like, okay, how the fuck are they have magic? They have magic over here because of the veil.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's because they're close to that outlier island.
Maybe. I was
I just
excited
said that
though.
and was like, fuck, did we read that already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, yeah, because that's where I was like, oh, where are we reading to? Are we done yet?
Yeah.
So with this, I got excited. I was like, fuck yeah, there are probably dragons here. But then I was like, ooh, there's magic here.
Yeah. So that's a problem for Xaden.
I was like,
Um,
fuck, Zane's
and
gonna.
we also find out that these people, I mean, not in this chapter, but in the chapter we're about to start, chapter
These people are more
38,
insane
these
than the
people are
Dotus.
fucking nuts. Like,
And here's the thing, it's like I was trying to think about it because at first I was like, what the fuck? But then I'm like, they were essentially raised to worship the god of luck.
which is insane. Um, so Zinal, I think is how you pronounce it,
Yeah.
is the god of luck. And they literally think that just whatever happens is
The
the
god.
luck you deserve. Like,
It's like, holy shit.
so
And they all have to play a game.
yeah,
And
when
it's
they
like a
arrive to the island.
tarot card game. So like somebody comes out and they're like, "Oh, we've been expecting you. We've done this." But they're everyone's kind of given a moment because the magic is there. Um Everyone is able to talk to their dragon, to their griffin, to everything. So like everyone's really honestly in a good mood because they've been without their trusted partner essentially for 2 weeks now.
Yeah, they've been cut off.
Yeah,
Except
so
for Violet.
yeah, of course. Which makes me wonder if it has something to do with the fact that she's bonded to an Irid.
Maybe.
Because I'll get to that later. Um so damn it. So they show up here and they're just like, to get your army with us, you must play a game, and whatever luck you draw, you must be thankful for that because that is the luck you deserve. You must not complain. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
So they're not allowed to complain no matter what happens.
And that
This
includes
is
for
like,
anybody.
yeah, that like if something were to happen to Xaden, Violet can't complain. If something happens to Kat, Marin can't complain. Well, Marin's not there, but Drake can't complain. Like,
Marin's there.
is Marin there? Oh yeah, Marin is there.
Like Serena, her
Yeah,
sister
Serena can't
Serena.
complain. So, but at the bottom of page 321, there is a very, like, knowing now what happens in this chapter, this line is very, like, oh. So
I also feel like this is what they live by, though.
Yeah.
The chaos of everything that has been happening, the like unknown, the luck that she's giving. Like, to be honest, I know she's from the Isle that prays to Amari. But honestly, like, you should be having your thankful lucky stars go towards Zanal because of all of this bullshit that you faced.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Maybe not after this Isle, but like up till then.
Yeah, because at the bottom of chapter 321, Traeger says, "This might be my favorite Isle," when he takes Kat's hand and says, "What do you think, Violet?"
And of course, her and Xaden are like arguing.
Yeah, in their head. So like,
and then Riddick's like, "Yeah, don't mind them. They do this all the time."
Yeah.
Calixta is the name.
Yep.
So basically, the gifts, the cards that they pick based on their luck are gifts from Zanal, which is why you have to be thankful for that. You cannot like complain about it because that is a gift from higher up. So and it's so funny because poor Dane. Dane is just struggling with being just trying his hardest. And Eric fucking pops out of nowhere and just starts speaking fluent Zilny.
Yeah,
And
so
everyone's like,
Dane
what
is
the
like
fuck?
talking and it says the words are coming out like he's in pain, and then Eric sighs and proceeds to speak like he was freaking born here.
Yep.
And poor Dane is ready to fucking kill him.
Yeah. And then she's like, where were these language skills when we were translating journals last year? He looks at me as if I gained another head. I was raised to be a diplomat. Diplomats don't speak to dead people. You didn't think we should know about you speak fluent everything? And nullify Ados's reason for joining? What is it Rick calls us? Quest Squad. So then they start the game, and every single person there has to play. It's not like, oh, she's the leader, she plays. Everyone has to play.
Yep.
So
Yep.
but yes, they
Ooh.
all have to agree. They cannot play whatever. So
And they can't complain. They can't.
yeah. And someone's like, there's no way that they're just going to let us open up presents. There's like 2,000 people here. This is ridiculous. So she steps forward and chooses. And Mira walks to the right of the edge of the table and plucks a card without pause. Calixta goes, and all gifts you wine. So they gave her a bottle of wine. Sweet.
Yep.
And then she goes back, and then the next person comes up. Marin receives 2 orange tunics from a short, smiling man with a shiny bald head. Dane's card reveals a hand, and when he goes to offer his, a woman comes out and slaps him. And I feel like all of the bullshit that he's ever done, like whether or not he was being self-righteous in any way, shape, or form, like he kind of deserved that. And Zayden goes, well, okay, everyone, Riddick barely stifles a snort and schools his features. Here's the thing. Is laughing considered complaining?
I don't think so.
Because I feel like if he did laugh, that would be okay.
Like I would that's me appreciating the gift. Like
yeah, thank you. So, and it's funny because Zayden's warned not to laugh. And he's like, I'm worried about the implications of that hit and a little jealous of the woman who delivered it.
Yeah, because that's the first like negative gift.
Yeah.
That they're like, oh.
Yeah.
And then
Garrick is given a rusted steel bucket. Eric receives a fractured hand mirror that immediately cuts his thumb when the man hands it to him top first. Zayden chooses his card, and he's given an empty glass box the size of his foot with pewter hinges and edges. And then she chooses a card, and it's a compass. And then the guy comes out, and
he's smirking
at her as she lifts her chin, hands it to her, and it's a compass that points anywhere but north, or nowhere near north. So it's broken. And she says, thank you. He says, use it wisely. And then
their banter is bantering in this one.
Yeah, because she's like broken compass. And he goes, you can put it in my box of nothingness. We'll keep them on the bedside table.
She said, I'm not carrying this thing home.
Yeah, and he's like, it's bad luck to throw away a gift from Zanal. Riddick goes up, draws a painted pair of lips, and the crowd cheers. And he's like, the way this is going, I expect the lengthy blonde man approaching Riddick to hand him a tin of lip rouge or maybe a pair of lips that's been sliced off a dead cow. Instead, the man claps both sides of Riddick's face and then smacks a loud kiss onto each of his cheeks. Riddick says thank you, and then he walks back into line. Kat is given a gold necklace with a dangling ruby the size of her thumb. Drake draws next. He gets a claw, and he gets a fucking orange kitten. And here's the thing, I knew this kitten was coming. I knew there was something named Broccoli that was coming up
Oh.
into. I saw like a video and I was like, oh, that's a cool shirt. Why does it have wings? And I was like, and then it said Bazgayeth, and I was like, what the fuck? That's a spoiler. Whether or not people want to admit it's a spoiler. And then as soon as I saw that, I just kept seeing broccoli, broccoli, broccoli. I was like, God damn it. I was like, okay, fine. I guess I'm gonna get that. So it's a kitten. So he gets a kitten
It's
that
a kitten.
in a later spiel we hear he named it Broccoli. And Satan's like, what the fuck are we going to do with that thing for the rest of the trip? She's like keeping Darna from eating it,
Yes.
honestly. And then the last person to draw was Traeger. Traeger gets an arrow and he turns around and he barely glances at Cat before he falls flat because an arrow protrudes from his heart and he is dead.
Yep. And that's the end of chapter 38.
And
I was like, Cat is gonna fuck this all up. Cat is gonna murder everyone.
to be honest, Cat did really fucking well.
She did. In the
Like,
chapter 39,
honestly,
Violet is the one that almost fucks it up.
Yeah, honestly, I was like, kudos to fucking Cat for not fucking any of this up. Because, mind you, they have to play this game for them to get 40,000 fucking people. So
Right. This is to get an army.
So all of this has an army on the line, and if anybody fucks this up, like 40,000 troops gone, just like that.
Yep.
Absolutely no chance whatsoever. So that's terrifying in and of itself. And then now your squad mate fucking dies because of a card that he chose, because that's the luck he gets. That's the gift.
And you have to say thank you.
Yeah. And here's the problem. You have PTSD from one of your other good friends dying.
Yep.
For something that you chose to do.
Yeah. I also wrote at the bottom of my notes for chapter 38. It is 12:07 a.m. I need to go to bed, but these cliffhanger endings are killing me. Because obviously after I read that, I didn't fucking go to bed.
Yeah, and that's when I said, like, fuck, there is always a catch, isn't there? I was like, poor Cat. Like, not that, like, Cat's my favorite. I respect her.
Yeah.
However, some of her comments, like, you need to give up.
Yeah, she needs to let it go, but...
Yeah, but, like, the fact that she was finally moving on, she finally found somebody that she really cared about, that was willing to care for her the same way that she deserves to be cared for. Yep. No offense to Xaden, unlike Xaden. However, the fact that she was not given that same decency really wants me to claw some eyes out. Like, really.
Yep. Yep. And Violet about loses her shit.
Oh, yeah, like, Xaden's trying to talk to her. And not in Darna, but, fuck, who is it? Taryn's trying to, like, tell her, and it's like she's watching Solalair, I think the name is, like, die. Scylla's,
yep.
Scylla's is dying.
Because griffins die when their fire dies.
Because they mate for life. And so, like, she's dying, and, like, Taryn's like, you need to focus. You need to focus. She's gone. Focus. And, like, and Darna's pissed, but not showing it to anybody. Like, she's showing it. And that's the sad thing about having all of these bonds with all these people. Like,
you feel their emotions if you can't block it out.
So, like, she's trying to focus and get it all out. And so then, like, she looks over to Mira, and Mira's looking at her like, you need to handle this. Because she's obviously has her arm wrapped around Marin, like, holding her, like, steady. And she's, like, sitting there. She goes, this person died so we'd have a chance. This person died so we have a chance. This person did this so that they have a chance if I fail. We've just lost another squad mate, another year mate for nothing. And it's like, yes. So put on your big girl britches, go say thank you, and walk away, and then cry your fucking eyes out afterwards. Fuck
And
this.
she does. And so I was like, and she says thank you, and then in her head she goes, fuck them. And I was like, yeah, thank you. Also know that I will be back to make you pay, you twisted fuck.
Yeah.
Like, after this deal is over and the war is over, I'm coming back and murdering you all. You twisted fucks. I'm setting fire to this fucking island.
I set fire to the rain.
Ugh.
Yeah, so that's sad. And it's like hours later, after everything's done, they finally get their army, everything is planned. They come back and everyone's still sitting there around the bodies of Traeger and his griffin Silas or
Yeah.
Silas or whatever. It's like Silaslan or something like that. I don't know.
Silarain.
There you go, Silarain. So yes, all of that happens, and like they're just trying to figure out what to do, and Kat does not want them buried here at all whatsoever. She does not
No, not
deserve
at
that.
any of the inhabited islands. And she's like, there are dozens of uninhabited islands nearby. Pick one. And Drake's like, that's gonna deviate us from the charted. Oh, is it? Is it gonna deviate us from our charted course? Someone's fucking dead.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be fucking fine if we get deviated from our charted course. The
Yeah.
fuck? Ugh, pissed me off. And the survivors, guilt is a bitch. Because Violet is blaming herself because it's her mission. Kat is blaming herself because she's the one that asked him to come. Like, everyone's blaming themselves. Survivor's guilt's a bitch.
And it's so like so real, and it's crazy how that applies to anybody and everyone in like today's time. But like each one of them is having survivor guilt over different things. Like she asked him to come along. This is this person's mission. If Garrick went at a different time, I'm not saying that he feels guilty, but like just saying
Right.
like everyone could be having those kinds of feelings. And so it's like and this is the shitty thing about sorrow, basically, is you all feel it a different way, whether or not it's the same or coming from like the same location in your feelings. But you all should know that you're feeling the same way.
Yeah.
And you should utilize that to, strengthen yourself. I don't listen to that, but that's the right way to do it, technically. It's trauma bonding. Anyways, so they're gonna go someplace else to go burn the bodies.
Yes. And then chapter 40, they do go to an uninhabited island, and what page did I write that on? 334. So the very first page, the magic is getting stronger. It's not as strong as it is in Navarre, but it's getting stronger as they're on this uninhabited island. And I was like, do you think that it's because the Irids are underwater? Like, is their hatching ground somewhere underwater, and that's why?
Like an underwater cave of some sort?
Right.
Maybe. I didn't think about that.
I was like, is that why the magic's getting stronger, but they haven't seen any evidence of them?
For some reason, when I think like Irids, I think like iridescent, and it's not like, iridescent only has like 4 or 5 colors that are always the same.
Right.
And in this case, they make it sound like it's
almost chameleon, like.
Yeah, like they're chameleons, like, oh, she's invisible, you can't see her. Oh, she turns black. Oh, she's mad at me now, so she's definitely not black anymore. Like that. I was like, what is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my god. Um, but yeah, so they basically burn the bodies, do their own little thing, and it's just I'm telling you, I really like Drake and Mira.
I do too.
They have the same energy whether they like it or not. Like they are, I wouldn't call them enemies to lovers because I mean, yes, they were enemies to lover. Like they were enemies at one point because of everything. But like because of the forced proximity that they have, to me they're like you have to deal with me, but I hate you. So like I'm going to be like that annoying sister kind of like mentality.
Yeah, they're kind of doing everything they can just to piss each other off,
Yeah, because they hate each
but
other that much. But like
also
not
not.
really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like okay, you like them enough to care about them because you care about what they're thinking,
Yeah.
whether that's good or bad. But he let's see. Her name is Broccoli, not that, because Mira takes the kitten from Drake's hands because obviously it's a squirmy kitten and he is trying really hard to look at this map to figure out where the fuck they are, where to go from here. Because there are not a lot of locations that have been traveled to from Navarre, at least. So their maps are lacking in a lot of topography. And he's like, her name is Broccoli, not that. And she looks at him like he sprouted whiskers. You named a kitten Broccoli? He goes, no one really wants broccoli, but it's good for you. So it seems fitting to me. And it's like, no one really wants an animal, but it's good for them.
I mean,
I want my animals, and I would have loved to have that kitten. If I were him, I'd be like, oh, fuck yeah, thank you.
yeah, right? But like also we're not living
This is
like
not an
we're
opportunity for them to be. Also, his dragon. What is his dragon thinking?
right.
Like, let me
Um
just hide him in my flight jacket. Like, don't worry.
I mean, I'm sure that's what he does, right? Like where else is he going to put them while they're flying?
it's
Um
it, and it's great because they're trying to figure out what's going on between each other, like in terms of like where they're located. And Mira just keeps fucking bringing up the cat, and it's like, why not carrots? She's orange, just to frustrate you, Sorengale. And then she's like, ugh. And then she like finally answers all the questions, and I'm sitting there like, maybe Broccoli will like Mira so much, and obviously belong to Drake. Drake's gonna
right.
feel like I cannot be without you because you're my cat. And the cat's just like, I like Mira too, so like I want to be around them whether you like it or not. And that kind of brings them together.
Maybe.
A forced budding relationship. More forced than they already are.
Um I also had another theory because I was like, ooh, if the Irids aren't under the water, like are they in the volcano? Because there's a volcano on this island. I don't
And she
know.
doesn't like being cold.
Right? Um but they're arguing. Mira and Drake are arguing back and forth about the map, like he said. And then Violet's like, and she's like, Taryn, like, where are we? And he explains like kind of where they are, and she's like, we're about right here. And not just a couple of dozen islands up that the map makers recorded are on there. There's probably hundreds of islands. And Drake's like, you want us to search them all? She's like, as many as we can. Like, hello. But Marin is
Good
like,
thing
we
there's,
can't.
12 of them that could split up.
Yeah. So they are gonna split up. Um and they're Xaden is not happy about the splitting up. So Marin and Kat, Drake and Dane, Eric and Mira, Xaden and Garrick, and Riddick and Violet.
And she's like explaining everything. She goes, "What? I kept the griffins close and paired dragons with similar flight strengths. Except for ours, Taryn and Segale have the best chance of staying in contact unseparated. The rest of these islands have the same level of magic. It's better for the group they split for the day." And he's like, yep. Really? And Garrett comes around and goes, "Just you and me today, honey bear. I'll take good care of you." And he flashes a dimple.
Yep. And they're like, "We're gonna meet back here before nightfall." And then Naren's like, "We can't leave this island until the fire is out. You can't leave an offering to Malik unattended." And Violet's like, "Okay." Riddick and I will stay because Kat is like anxious and she can tell that she doesn't want to stay. And then where's it at? Where the fuck is it? Oh. They're like, "Anybody have any questions or anything like that?" And then the group starts to break apart, and Xaden, Riddick, and Violet are standing there, and Xaden's just like intensely staring at Violet. And Riddick's like, he looks like at both of them, and he's like, "I'm going somewhere else." She's like, "I just don't want to be here."
I just love Riddick.
I do too.
He's listen, if any male, not that males really listen to us, at least males that are single, but listen, I think my biggest heartbreaks have been the ones that made me laugh.
Yeah.
Key to my heart is making me laugh.
Yeah, that's fair.
So Riddick.
Yeah, and Riddick and Atro. So I've seen a lot of
him.
Have
you seen How to Train Your Dragon?
Yeah.
Riddick. It's Riddick and Toothless. And
yeah, and Hiccup. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I can see that. They're just goofy, and they're like playing in the water. Like they have. What's the word I'm looking
pranks.
For? Yes, pranks. They like take turns playing pranks on each other. And the current prank, it was Atrum's turn, and he basically sprayed water through his teeth at Riddick, soaking
because
him.
he like caused waves to come up and get Riddick's shoes wet, and he's like, "I only have this."
Yes. And so then he sprays it with water. And I just love their
and it's funny because she has no idea. She's like, "Do I even want to know?" And he goes, "He's just getting me back for the last round." What?
Yeah. And so she had called Taryn a curmudgeon earlier, and she made a like joke about, or in her head she was thinking about like maybe
because he's being grumpy.
Maybe I'm glad that I'm with bonded to a grumpy old man. And then she's like trying to get his attention or something. She's like, "Taryn." Oh, because all of a sudden something there weird is happening. Movement. Yeah, there's fresh dragon tracks, and sand is jumping and water is spraying, but they can't see it. She can't see anything. And she's like, "Taryn?" And he's like, "I'm busy with curmudgeonly things." And then, oh fuck, like it's an Irid. There's a dragon. She can't see it. And then Taryn's like, "Oh fuck, like I was being an asshole, but I'm on my way." And they're there. And it talks to her. the Irids don't have any qualms about talking to humans they're not bonded to.
And that's when now I'm not saying that Andarna can't talk to anybody else because she's not bonded to them, but I feel like she has the ability to, you know? And because of that, because she's an Irid, because they're able to talk to anybody and everyone without actively, like, and maybe this is something she doesn't know, she just does unwillingly, which is why she was able to always do it with them.
Maybe. I don't think.
Bitch, you act like you don't fucking know.
No, I don't know. I was going to say, I don't think we find out what the cause for that is in this book.
I thought you were just going to give me, like, some hypothetical fucking lie because you haven't read this part yet, and I'm sitting here like, bitch, you read the whole story. Like,
no, I
we in
don't
fact
think
know?
we know yet.
Oh, okay.
I don't think we know by the end of this book. Where did you go?
I'm right here.
Oh, there you are. I clicked on something. I clicked on something, and then it brought up the little thing, and then it went away. Oh, okay. Okay, go away.
Here's the thing for chapter 41. There are a lot of, there's a lot. Essentially, there are dragons here staring at her.
Yes.
Not attacking, not doing anything, just staring.
Yep.
And obviously everyone's freaking out. It talked to her. And it talked to Riddick too, because like he pops up out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden we are just talking like as if the humans don't fucking hear them. She's like, a lot of people, or one of the dragons believe that the human female lacks intelligence, talking about Violet, and that pisses Violet off. And then like they're just trying to figure out what the fuck is happening. So Andarna talks to these people. Andarna is like trying to iterate why they're there, why they're looking for them. And apparently black is not their resting color. I don't know if they have a resting color that's like specific to everybody or like it's just typical for, because I think they all choose blue basically. But what is it? They
I don't
are
know
like,
if we
why
just
is
lost
this
Emily or
your
if
typical
I
color?
just
Because
lost
it's,
my connection.
you know, normal in Navarre. And
So
they're just criticizing her the entire time, which is
I
rough.
was going to respond to her and say
But
that I think that Irids are
I think I lost
shades
connection.
of blue and green. So, but I'm not sure. I think they just like they have cool colors that they choose because if you listen as they describe them, they're talking about most of them are like purple, blue, green. And now that I'm saying that, I can't find any evidence of that. But yeah. Anyway, chapter 41. It's super confusing because they're like, what is happening? They speak our language, all of this. Oh, Emily lost internet. But anyway, they're like they're on page 344. They're talking. So they talk to these dragons for a minute, and they're like, "Oh," and Darna's like, "They won't hurt her. They're my
and Darna
family."
is
And I'm like,
essentially
"Will they
his
though?"
child.
But they continue talking,
And to see
and they're
her
like,
upset and them degrading
there's
her upsets
a
him.
female that's kind of bitchy.
And
she's
my
like,
last comment was, damn,
"We don't live with humans. We're just
the Irids.
Peaceful. We don't help humans. We don't do war."
Was damn.
And Taryn is pissed at these people
Them
because
dragons
they're
are harsh.
being rude. And Darna's like, "Do not ruin this for me." So they... Emily just sent me her comments, so I'll let you know what those are too. So they are... Riddick and Violet are talking back and forth in signs. So, and Darna's like, "Is it just the 6 of you that are here on the beach?" And she's like, the male is like, "No, there are hundreds of us. Please continue speaking." And Violet's like signing to Riddick, and she's like, "I don't think that this is going as well as Darna thinks it is." And Riddick's like, "Why? She's incredible, brave, fierce, vicious, everything the Empyrean respects." But there's the issue. This is not the Empyrean. And then on 345, a lot of the dragons do leave. They go into the water, and they block out the humans from their voice. Emily said that she in this part feels bad for Taryn because Andarna is like his and Sigil's child, and they kind of helped raise her, and the Irids are like degrading her and being rude to her, and that's really hard and for a parent figure to see. So he's upset. And then these dragons are super fucking harsh. So they're like, and Darna's like, "Did I pass the test?" And she's like, "You were not the one being tested." And they look at Violet and said, "You were." And Violet goes, "I'm sorry? Like, what the fuck?" And she goes, "You should be. You failed." Taryn is pissed and he growls, and Darna doesn't stop him this time. She jumps in and is like, "Violet has never failed me." And she's like, "I don't understand." And the dragons are...
I'm back, baby.
Woo! Okay. I was just finishing up. I was like, the dragons are ignoring Andarna. And she's defending Violet, and she's like, "The fact that you're defending her actions is a testament to their failure." And they're like arguing back and forth, and then they basically leave. But they say, Dragonkind has not learned their lesson, while you, looking at Atrum, gifted your human with ice, you armed yours with lightning to Taryn. And then Riddick's like, that's not how this works. And then he looks at Andarna and goes, "And you are very hope," because they left her behind, hoping that, kind of like Wally, they were hoping that humanity would fix itself and become peaceful. That did not happen. I think we lost Emily again. Yep, we did. They were hoping that humanity would fix itself. That does not happen. At least to their opinion. And they say, "You are very hope, have handed this human something far more dangerous to wield, haven't you?" But what is it? We don't know. So at this point, the end of chapter 41, we have found out that her signet is something far more dangerous than lightning or ice. But we don't know what it is yet. That's the end of chapter 41. And that is going to be the end of this episode. And since Emily's not here to say it, I guess I will. Until next time, bye.